Hi, this is Em. I'm a hypnotherapist and coach. And last year I went through a very sudden and very unexpected early menopause, age 44. I've just turned 45 now and I am postmenopausal. And I am using YouTube to share my experience and share the things that I wish I'd known and wish I'd been preparing myself for. So today I want to talk about the medical system and menopause. So I'm based in Australia, even though I'm English, that might confuse some of you. I've been in Australia since 2007. So everything that I'm going to be talking about really relates to the Australian medical system. But obviously, wherever you are in your country, you will have your own medical system and own way of dealing with menopause. So I have utmost respect for all medical, clinical professionals. So doctors, nurses, the whole spectrum, I really do. And I think doctors, especially in GPs, I know can see up to 30 patients a day. So it's huge, right? It's just such a huge workload and they're dealing with so many different things. It's like someone's coming in with a verruca and then someone's coming in and they're 8 months pregnant. There's so much that our medical professionals are dealing with every single day. However, what I'm going to talk about now is the medical system, because it's not the doctors, it's not the nurses that are failing women when it comes to menopause, it's the medical system. And that is because even though 51% of the population, give or take, are female at the moment and are going to go through menopause, and this includes non-binary people as well, they're going to go through menopause. And it's not studied in medical school. It's not an actual designated subject for you to be to qualify and be a kind of a menopause GP or a menopause doctor. You have to go back and specifically study that subject. So if you think about, I don't know, like in Australia, I think about country doctors, right, who've been in the family for 50 years. They've seen the kids and the grandkids and everything come through. And you think about like women out in the country here, and you think about, would a GP, a country doctor, this is being a bit general, but would they go and study menopause? Hopefully, I mean, they would, but the real stats, there's not enough GPs that are skilled up in menopause. And so women are going to their doctors. I'm not just talking about country doctors, I'm talking about doctors everywhere. Before I was offered anything else, I was offered antidepressants. And this is what a lot of women are going through right now. They're going to their GPs. Their GPs are seeing what is looking like depression, which it is, but it's menopausal depression. It's a hormonal drop. And these women are being offered antidepressants straight away off the bat. And like I said, it happened to me 3 times, and I live in a very cosmopolitan city in Sydney. So that was with 3 different doctors before I found my own doctor. So here in Australia, and I really want to encourage you to do research. We have I'm just going to show you on here, we have the Australian Menopause Society, and they are a centralized group, a centralized society, based in Sydney, but they do like telehealth calls, they do like remote Zoom calls, all that kind of stuff. And all of their doctors are specialists in menopause. So they've actually gone and studied. Now, I am so freaking lucky because I live in Manly in Sydney, and I knew after going to 3 different doctors, I knew that I wanted to speak to a menopausal doctor, and I actually found my doctor here in Manly. I'm so lucky. And she's actually studied, and she's actually a registered member of the Australian Menopause Society. So I was very lucky to have someone on my front door. And I know that you might be thinking, well, I don't like doing Zoom and I don't want to do telehealth, but talking to a menopause GP who is trained, who can see all these signs, who can understand what you're going through, and spending 20 minutes on the phone with them is going to be invaluable compared to going to a GP who's trying to put you on antidepressants. I will say this as well. I'm not antidepressants, okay? So if you feel that that's the right thing for you to do it. but this is a hormonal thing. And so you need to be looking at, what can I do to regulate my hormones? Is it changing my diet? Is it, is it HRT as an option? Like, you really need to be talking to professionals about this. This is like having a baby, right? It's like having a baby and going and talking to somebody who specializes in, is a podiatrist, like specializes in feet, or, nose, ear, and throat doctor. Okay. You're going to want to speak to somebody who has experience in delivering babies, in pregnancy, in talking to you about what you're going through in your pregnancy. Same as this, you really need to be talking to someone who specializes in menopause, who can be empathetic, who's going to make you feel like you're not going crazy. So the Australian Menopause Society is the society here in Australia. I know wherever you're watching this, there will be in the US, if you're in India, if you're in the UK, if you're in Croatia, there will be a centralized body where a specific number of specialist menopause doctors are part of. And it doesn't mean they just work there. It means they can be all over the country, but they belong to that society. So definitely do your research. Definitely, if you can, seek out somebody who knows what they're talking about. It is a big deal. It is. I'm not trying to scare you, because your experience might be really cruisy, and I hope it is, but I just want you to go into your perimenopause and menopause journey knowing that if you're going to doctors and they're trying to put you on antidepressants, but you're describing all of these symptoms, which are menopause, that you need to push, or you need to seek out someone else who's going to help you. So the other thing, the way that the medical system now works is they qualify whether you're going through perimenopause or menopause with what they call the AMS diagnosing system score sheet, and it looks like this. So these are all the symptoms. You can see them. I'm kind of reading them backwards. So hot flushes, lightheaded, headaches. I can't even read that. Oh my God, I'm reading depression. Yeah, so you can see, I can't read. Anxiety. Yeah, I'm reading back to front. So, but yeah, you can basically see like dry skin, all of these symptoms. And what they do is you have to fill this out. This is what your doctor should be giving you. And you have to fill these out. You have to fill out a score, like 1 to 3, of how severe the symptoms are. And basically, based on that, the doctor will be able to diagnose kind of where you are in perimenopause. A lot of people talk about the blood test. So for me, I went in, and when I went in, I hadn't had my period. And sorry, I'm looking back here now. I went in and I hadn't had my period for 6 months, which is why my doctor gave me a blood test. But if you're just going in and your periods are regular, they generally tend not to give you a blood test. And this is what they should be asking you about. Okay, so this is something that every GP should have a printout of, and they should be, if you're going in and you're saying, I've got hot flashes, I'm depressed, I'm feeling anxious, I'm really moody, I don't want to be around my partner, I've got backache, joint pains, muscle pains, I'm not feeling like very sexual, I don't want to have sex anymore. It's uncomfortable when I'm having sex, if I'm going to the toilet loads more. So all of these things are symptoms, and there's so many more. I'm not going to read through all of them, but please, please, please don't think that if you just go to one doctor and they are, for whatever reason, dismissing your symptoms, or they're not listening to you, that is not a place for you to stop. You need to seek out, your body, you know what's going on, you know that something doesn't feel right. So trust yourself. And if all fails with your local GP, jump on and try and find a centralized menopause society in your country. There will be several, to be honest, but find people that know what they're talking about, find people that are skilled, and see if you can book in a phone call or a Zoom call with them and do it that way and get the support that you need, because you're not going crazy. You don't have to take the first thing that's offered to you, which is generally antidepressants. But again, if we're talking about life and death here, right? Take and do what's right for you, do the right thing. So I hope that's helped. Yeah, like I said, this is how they now basically work out whether you are going through perimenopause or menopause, and it just helps to give you a bit more clarity and a bit more information. And once you have that like diagnosis, I guess what it does is it allows you just to look at what options there are, whether that's to go the natural way, the naturopathy way, whether you just want to like change your diet and work on your fitness, or if your symptoms are more severe, if you want to look at HRT or even antidepressants as well. So many things. But yeah, just don't give up. Always get a second opinion if in doubt. And just remember, it's not the doctor's fault. It's just the medical system's fault. There is not enough training at medical school on menopause. And hopefully that is going to change really, really soon. I have rambled again, as always, but I hope you've got some little gold nuggets from in there. And I hope this helps you on your own journey as well. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe. I've got some epic guests coming up very, very soon, all to do with the menopause, from naturopathy, from fitness, strength and conditioning, from the medical world. My doctor's going to come on. And I've also got some incredible women who are all about women's mysteries, rites of passage, and are going to talk about the energetics of menopause and what that actually means. So I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Until then, be well, and I'll see you soon. Take care.